So today I put out a post on Facebook. Look, caused a bit of a stir really, but it's inspired me to basically do episode 5 of the daily vlog, and it's given me really good subject matter to talk about. So I'm shooting most of this weekend, so I'm gonna do a cliche time lapse, show my setup, and then we'll cut straight through to the daily vlog. Yes, episode number 5 of the daily vlog. Now, today I've decided to do it on my camera, and the reason I've decided to do it on camera is I've got a bit of time and the sun is shining, and if you can take the time to do something a little bit more thoroughly, of course, take the time to do it a little bit more thoroughly. So yeah, I've got the time basically, which is going to be amazing. So I'm going to do episode 5. I'm also going to do a review of this, which is basically the Joby 3K kit, which I bought recently to help me do my vlog. That's going to come in another video. I will put a link to that video at the end of this video, and I haven't even filmed that video yet, which is like super meta, just inception, like screwing with your mind. So yeah, I'm going to do that as well. I've got time. I'm going to produce another film. As you can see, I've got soft boxes. I'm shooting portrait stuff most of this weekend, so life is good, which is pretty cool. So episode 5, what do I want to talk about in episode 5? I put a status out on Facebook, which kind of didn't cause any controversy. There were a lot of people backing what the status was about. And just to give you a little bit of a background, the reason I put the status out was basically, there's a DJ called Denis Sulta. He is a guy from Scotland, really funky, wacky sound he plays, and he's very daring in terms of what he does. Like, this guy used a Conor McGregor quote, being like, "I'm sorry for absolutely nothing," and he played that over the top of a track as it dropped in a club. And
everyone on the roster, I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, I'd like to take this chance to apologise for absolutely
people just go mad for him on the basis that he's just got so much energy. He's just got so much energy. But the thing people don't realise is, like, this guy cut his teeth in a record store selling records. When other DJs came in and were like, "Oh, Dennis, you know what track should I get for this?" Like, he knows his music. And somebody put a status out being like, I don't know how this guy, where's this guy come from? Like, what has he done? And he was kind of saying there's other people in the industry that have been doing it for so much longer and doing similar stuff, and they're not half as decent as he is. Because this Denis Sulta guy has now just had an essential mix on Radio 1, which is like national radio. So things are going pretty well for Denis at the moment, which is pretty cool. And someone put a status out. So I kind of followed the thread in his status, and there was a lot of bitterness. Like, reading through some of the statuses, people just pulling him apart. And what I wanted to do is just write a little bit of a video, do a video talking about why it's not cool to rip someone apart. And I know that sounds like really sort of stupid. So the status that I put out was basically, after following a post questioning why Denis Sulta has blown up, I've decided that I have no tolerance for any type of hater. I can't be having that weight in my life. I want to progress, take full advantage of the opportunities in front of me. You can't do that surrounded by negative energy. Haters of any type will be binned. And what I was basically referring to, like, if you're on my social media and you're hating on other people, I'm just going to bin you. Like, you're going bin, I'm sorry, because I don't want that energy around me, because I think you should always surround yourself with really positive energy. And let me put it into perspective, and that's what I really want to do. This is going to be quite a short video, but I just want to put something into perspective, and I'm going to talk from first person. When somebody says my work as a photographer isn't any good, it's devastating. It's absolutely devastating. It's devastating because I take great pride in what I do. it's devastating because I've produced it. You know, I've made this. This has come from me. It's got a part of me in it. It's exactly the same for music. It's exactly the same for anything that anyone takes due diligence and care to be able to produce. But also, what happens is, for anybody to get to that point where they're creating stuff, there's history. So, for instance, for me as an example, when I first started in photography, I knew that's what I wanted to do. But at that point in life, things weren't going very well. I had to sell my car to pay my mortgage. I had moved out of my owned apartment, so I had a mortgage on an apartment. And I moved out of my apartment so I could rent a bedroom, so I could then rent out my apartment to somebody else because I couldn't afford to pay the mortgage. So I had to move out of my home whilst chasing my dream to become a photographer. Now, if you think about that hardship, like that I went through, and everybody does it. Everybody that has grafted to achieve something in their life has faced adversity and they've overcome it. So then when it comes to creating something and somebody bad mouths that, they're not just bad mouthing, you know, on the surface, the tangible element of it. They're bad mouthing the whole history, like the history of how you got from point A to point B, and that's super painful. And I genuinely think, you know, anybody that is gonna be disrespectful and not respect another artist for what they do, they don't deserve any respect in their own right. And that's a really bold, wild statement, but you should, as an artist, respect what other artists do. And I'm full of loads of sayings. Like, I'm a very simple-minded person. I create sayings and I kind of try to live by them. Like, if they can't see it, you can't sell it, all that sort of jazz. But one of my other things, and I always talk about it, you know, if you follow any of the podcasts, so I've done a podcast with How to Be a Rockstar Photographer, and I spoke about it in great lengths. Like, one of the other things I always say is never stop being a fan. Like, never, ever, ever stop being a fan. And what I mean by that is, if you can't respect what other creators and creatives are doing around you, what you're doing doesn't respect anything. And also what comes off the back of that is inspiration. I don't come up with the ideas for my shoots just laying there in bed at night. I come up because I'm inspired by other people around me. I follow other people's work, and I want to take bits of this and I want to take bits of that, and I want to pull it all together, and I want to make my own thing from these inspirations. And the same goes for music. I guarantee you, every musician in the world was inspired by another musician at some point in their life. I could never imagine a 5-year-old child laying in bed and just goes, oh, do you know what? I'm going to be a DJ. Or I'm going to play a guitar, or I'm going to be a singer. They would have seen somebody and aspired to be just like him. I saw another photographer, Ryan Dinham, is like literally super creepy. Like, he's my all-time favourite photographer because he inspired me. He set me on this path. And I'll never stop being a fan. And I regularly take time to contact photographers that are doing amazing stuff, and I'll be like, hey, do you know what? Your stuff's amazing. Keep doing what you're doing. I'm not after anything. I'm not selling anything. I'm not buying anything. I'm just telling them that I'm a fan of their work and they need to keep doing what they're doing. And basically, the whole status about sort of questioning this Denis Sulta is that artist has obviously got no respect for what Denis has strived to achieve in his time. So how can you then try to match or get to the same playing field or justify why you should be there over him? You know, it's such a difficult thing to do. And I think, really, to summarize, because I've kind of gone off all on a tangent, the one thing that I really want to get across is never stop being a fan. Like, show respect to what other people create, because it's not just about what's created on the surface, it's about the history of how they got to the point of creating that. And especially for me, if someone says my work isn't good enough, I go back to the points where I grafted and I didn't see any light at the end of the tunnel. I just had passion. I didn't think it was ever going to pay off, but it has done now. And all of that goes into my photos. Every single photo I take, all of that goes into it. So when it's potted, like bad mouthed, it's not just a photo, it hurts my whole journey. So if you are a creator, if you're a musician, if you're a photographer, if you're a videographer, if you are anything artistic and you create stuff, even if you're a builder, if you're a plumber, if you make something, if you put yourself into something to make it, show respect to other creators, because it's such an important thing, and never stop being a fan of them. And I promise you, that energy that you put out to people will come back and pay dividends in huge, huge ways. Hopefully you've enjoyed episode 5. Really passionate subject of mine. Yeah, guys, it is Friday. The weekend is nearly upon us. If you like this video, please hit subscribe. There will be more coming soon. If you've got any questions, pop them in the comments, and I will see you soon for my review of this chap. Take care.